So, hello everyone, welcome. This is the month of May 25, and we are very excited whenever a new month starts because we have lots to look forward to. Today, at the Saturday Masterclass, I thought I'd open the calendar. I'm not sure many would have opened. The calendar opens in My Good School. The story of everything we do began in My Good School. Teachers Academy followed My Good School. So that's why exciting things happen in My Good School. Sunday reading, we are reading two books. Some of you have started coming on Sunday, and we read in Hindi. रवि प्रकाश, आप संडे को आते हैं. संडे और सैटरडे के सेशन बहुत फर्क हैं. आज आप इसका एक्सपीरियंस करेंगे. The Sunday session is good for everyone. Teacher, student, daddy, mummy, chunnu, munnu, dog, cat. Bring them all along from home. Sunday session is open for all. So it should create a हम लोग story at home. हम सब बैठ के टीवी देखेंगे. That is the whole idea of Sunday school. How to get best use of devices. Don't ban devices, but get better use of devices. That's why we devised the Sunday school per se. So for 2 Sundays, we are purely reading. Then on 18th, we are screening a documentary. It's available on thegurunanak.com. It's public IP. You can watch it before that. Go to the website, thegurunanak.com. We will screen episode 17. Then we'll follow up with another exciting session with Leena Asher. This month's session was rocking absolutely. The joy of Ikagai went on for over 2 hours. We had to finally put a stop. So these sessions which happen with special invitees are known as Yes workshops. How do you engage with youth? That is what we are trying to target. The whole idea of a Yes workshop on a Sunday was that teachers must today understand that engaging with youth today is very different. And we will never be able to engage with youth because that is but natural. Our age gap keeps increasing. So how do you overcome these challenges? So we keep inviting younger and younger people to take sessions. That's the way we thought. So very young people come from Leena Asher's team because they only work with ECCE, early years, primary years. Leena Asher's Dreamtime School has not reached Cambridge or ISC yet. So they're only working with junior years and they have very good content. So they are partnering us. They're also developing a session for us on Saturday morning. We will do the Saturday morning session. You all will say you have school. Well, your luck. A Saturday morning session will one day be used by you in a class, I can promise you. You won't need a library period in your school. You may decide it as an art period. You may decide it as a music period. But you will love to use our Saturday morning sessions, which are in design. So we have the book still going. Yeah, and Teachers Academy, we now have 3 solid things happening. We have Thoughtful Thursday. Brinda, take 30 seconds to tell us why we should attend Thoughtful Thursdays.
So, Thoughtful Thursdays actually provokes us to think and to think integrating 3 forms of art. Sometimes we get a fourth one also roped in. So, the 3 forms of art that we discuss on Thursdays are poetry, music, and art. That is, art as in drawing and painting. So, we just spend 15 minutes on each of those art forms, and we just have a good discussion. That's about it. We're not attempting to go into the technicalities or the core content of any poems and things like that. It's an introduction, and if you attend a session, you'll see what value it has for teachers.
Lovely. So, Brinda, what we are telling them is that the appreciation of the 3 skills of music, art, and poetry.
Yeah,
If we can appreciate these 3 skills, we become better teachers. I promise you.
undoubtedly.
I'm
Undoubtedly.
willing to bet my life that if a teacher learns appreciation of music, if a teacher learns what is art, I'm not saying becoming an artist. I'm speaking to you, it's an art. We are hosting this session, it's an art. So art is very, very deep. It's way beyond symbolism, impressionism. You have not got the definition of art, even it's how deep. That's why I'm saying appreciation of arts. And similarly, if you ask me, there's no better literature than a poem. And the smaller the poem, the minimum the words, it's a killer.
Absolutely.
Because it has emotion in it. Emotion, melodrama, everything. See, every song you people sing, YouTube, everything is full of songs. Where did the songs come from? Every mythology, every ism, from Bible to hymns of Guru Nanak, to Gita's poetry, to Kabir's dohas, to Indic saints, it's all poems. You people have forgotten. So that's the Thursday session. Okay, now who will tell us what happened on Friday? Stunned silence. Manisha, you tell us what happened on Friday.
I can say that you read the Good Schools book. And I've read the book with you, not
So
once, but more than once. So
and every time even now when I'm reading it as I've never read it.
absolutely right.
So
Yeah.
what we do is that we will pick up a small chapter in the book, and we do something very, very interesting. You'll be quite surprised how we do it, and I'm going to give you a preview of that, what we do. Now, this will blow your mind. So let us say we had a session. I'm sure you see a spreadsheet on your screen, Brinda, don't you? So we had a session which said the annual day at school. It's page number 75.
Yeah.
When we were reading that, we actually found so many words which, when told in Hindi and English, mean so differently. So we did vocabulary, we do grammar, we do, what I explained in the last one, there is a video for it. There's a video link, there's a video recording of the last session. You will find it on the My Good School channel. I made teachers imagine while reading that school is a living being and we are only transiting through it. And how a school feels is how you treat the school. And how you treat the school is the behavior with every individual in the school. Your school is the sum total of living beings inside the school. It's a larger being. It's the cosmos where you all are atoms. So that's how I explained what a school is. And then why annual day? Now there's a very interesting question. Sir, annual day, we're not able to appreciate every child. I said, hello, you have 50 people in your class. You have more than 50 days in a year. Every day appreciate one child. Why do you need an annual day for that? And make it a point that tick somewhere that you will appreciate every child in your class throughout the year for something or the other. That's how we extrapolated an annual day for a child. Now, the day the child gets appreciated, it may not be school's annual day, but believe me, that will be his annual day in school. So don't confuse prize day. So I'm giving an example. And then after the session, we will give you a reading link, a research link on the website. We will give you a video. So this is how the brewing knowledge session works. That's why it's called brewing knowledge. So it goes far deeper into brewing knowledge about a school. मैं school क्यों हूँ? मैं school ऐसे क्यों व्यवहार करता हूँ? Why do I behave like a school like that? So 9th May, I think, we got the session. It's value of liberal arts education. Why there is liberal arts education in school? And humanity must learn humanities. So these sessions and chapters are chosen in a way that they are thematic. That's how we do. So this is about what we do on Friday. Okay, now who will tell us what we do at the masterclass? Gurdeep.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Why do we have a master class? And I think it's a productive failure. We're not able to explain why we have the master class.
Yeah, masterclass is for the teachers, and we read good books here. And like before Productive Failure, we were reading Show Me Das, The Man Who Saw Tomorrow, and these days we are reading Productive Failure. So it's for the teachers, like we have to enhance our knowledge. And if we want to inculcate reading habits amongst our children, I think first we should inculcate this habit amongst ourselves to read good books so that we have good thoughts.
Yeah, but we do the same thing on Sunday. We do the same thing on Saturday. We do the
But
same
it's
thing on Friday.
exclusive. Yeah, it's exclusively for the teachers, masterclass.
But do teachers have any age, or do teachers have any limitation, or do teachers have something extra which others don't have?
Teachers have direct link with the students. So if you are teaching one teacher, they are in touch with so many students. So indirectly, you are reaching out to so many students through these masterclass.
Okay. I'll extrapolate on that. So Saturday's session has 3 parts to it. Teachers are theoretical, they will hypothesize. And a beautiful example, Imran sir, आप यहाँ पे हैं तो हाथ उठाइए. Today we received what we call an assignment from Mohammad Imran sir. And I called him after that. He has created a hypothesis. Now that hypothesis will be tested, which means it will require a period of time. And then he'll have data. And then he'll have to interpret the data. And then he has to illustrate the data and present it. That's known as a paper, an assignment, as a study of a real life experience. What you are sending are examples. Please put them in the comments. We love them. We feature them in the journal if you people read them. I will also go a step ahead. I will show you the journal now. So let us say this is the journal. So journal, I hope most of you get it. Even if you don't, please subscribe to it, because that's what tells you everything. So if you go in the journal, last time we did productive failure. The problem and its solution, what stops us from learning. So that's what we were looking at. The problem and its solution, and the problem of learning. So here's a very, very interesting piece by Divya. So it got featured. So if you write a good comment, or if you give us some illustration, some example, it gets featured here. And where it's picked up from? The comment below the blog. Don't send us comments by email. It's too early for you to do any submission of any kind whatsoever. You have not designed your assignment. You have not created a hypothesis which you will test. Testing requires time. Testing requires data. How can you do an assignment so fast? We have not even finished a chapter. Yes, last time we gave you an idea that you could use that example of 2 points, which Imran has very beautifully captured. And Imran, if you are there, would you like to tell us about it?
He is here, sir. He has raised his hand.
Yeah, let's find him and allow him to talk. Okay, he's here. Okay, so I will say, okay, Imran, over to you. Please talk, Imran. Imran, you can unmute and talk.
Am I audible?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Good evening and Jai Hind, everyone. From last 1 week, I was doing a topic, okay, that sir has given us that we have work on forest strength and the tribal strength. Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead. Very well.
Thank you so much, sir. So I just came in mind that I have to take a title. This title I took it. Then I went for the intro part. Then I took a literature review. Because it is an essential part of research. I think I recall something which I did my MBA part 20 years back. 20 years back, we have an internship program on anything. At that time, I was having a topic, integrated marketing, IMC expect. That was integrated marketing communication of organized and organized retailing. So I was recalling that 20 years back, how I did my that research, that internship of 2 months. So on that basis, I did the literature review, and I moved to the methodology, research design, sample design, data collection, and sir guided me to go for the extensive survey, and then I have to do analysis. Then I have to come to the proper finding and conclusions. But what I got it from this, uh, I got it uh, what is the difference between these two, one that is the storage strength and the retrieval strength. So storage strength, I got it that deeper processing, and it is a deeper processing and space repetition which leads to higher storage strength, and retrieval is just like a practice which we have to do. So as a conclusion, I understand that storage and retrieval strengths can make our learning effective. We can make strategies effectively. So this much what we have done.
So now what Imran has been able to create, Imran has been able to create an hypothesis. Now what Imran will do between May, June, July, if he can go to a class and has access to children, he will convert this hypothesis into data finding. That data finding will then go to authentication. That authentication, yeah.
So what I understood that I have to work on this research methodology, research design, sample design, and the sample which I am going to take it.
Absolutely. So you will create a sample design. You will test this hypothesis about retrieval, and maybe you come up with a different conclusion than even Dr. Manu Kapur. That's how Manu Kapur came to what he came to. And we are using this book as an example to learn. We are using this book as an example to understand how Dr. Manu Kapur learned. And we are using that example to help you become better teachers. Please understand one thing, Dr. Manu Kapur became a teacher whichever way he did. And most of us became a teacher the way he has become. This book is almost the life of a teacher. It's a biography of a teacher, or an autobiography. Why biography in this case? So do all these things and then you do. You have a target of 5 papers. Now, what I suggest that if you find it a challenge and you have limited time, I honestly feel you can even do 2-3 of you together and create a hypothesis, collect data, and make a presentation. You can do it that way also. 5 is actually a figure which is our target, and we hope you can do them. If for some reason you do 1 and it is the most brilliant one, then you become numero uno. So whole idea of doing them is practice. First one is a practice, second one is a practice, and maybe one of your 5 turns out to be a paper to be submitted as a research to Dr. Manu Kapur. And we will send these to Dr. Manu Kapur. He said he wants to come when some book has been done on product, some work has been done on productive failure after reading the book. We have to go that far. Any question, you can raise your hands. Manisha, is that good to explain?
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah. And in your WhatsApp group, how much of effort I have taken writing, how many examples I've given you. I've given you the standards of international learning forward on how to make. I've given you examples of journal articles we have had to publish. We learned it also like you. It took me 1 year to publish my first assignment, 1 full year, where I learned from Carl Closet how to do this. I was not taught in school. My system, even post-school, never taught me. I did a course in IIM Ahmedabad that even never managed to do this for me, that this particular writing with Carl and working on this project called Schools Can Change did for me. So it's actually fantastic the way this is done. I'm not sure if any of you have a copy, but if you have in your library, just go have a look at this book. And this book will give you an idea how to test an hypothesis, how to create sheets, how to test them. And that's all you have to learn. And that's why it's called a master class. Not that there is a master in a class, so call it master class. No, no. It's a master class for a reason. And we've not even started reading today because I thought it's important to understand why we are here. We are not here because you have been sent by Sunbeam School to attend. We are here because we as professionals want to become better in what we are. We are here because we feel that professional development is our only way forward to help children prepare for the world. Am I clear in what I'm saying? This week, even Paul Sir will meet you people. And if you have any attendance challenges, please direct messages to Manisha. Just keep it out of the session. I don't want attendance to come in my way and my conversations. And in the chat box, if you have to mark your attendance and Manisha has to copy it, please find a way as to how you can get the attendance out of the way. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want attendance. I am more concerned on quality of work. But yes, there is a process for everything. Please work it out with Manisha the best way. I am very cool. I like the poll there. If you mark it there, but please mark after the session. Mark it up 6:15 plus, not before that. When you mark your poll, time also comes when I extrapolate the data. So be careful. Okay. So thank you so much. We will read. Are we failing to understand? How would you like to challenge a chess grandmaster to a memory game? Suppose I were to give you the grandmaster a list of 20 random words or objects, nothing related to chess per se, to memorize in 1 minute. After a short break, I ask you both to recall as many words as possible. Why do you think would be better? Who do you think would be better? If you are like most people, I have put this question to, you would bat for the grandmaster. After all, chess is regarded as one of the toughest of mental sports. And it is not uncommon to have seen grandmasters play multiple games simultaneously and win. Surely, that is proof of their superior memory. Except that is not the case. What if instead of random words or objects, the task is to remember the position of randomly placed chess pieces on a chessboard? Surely, this is a task that grandmaster would be better at. Except that too is not the case. As counterintuitive as it may be, it is true that on average, grandmasters are no better than lesser skilled players, or even you and me in remembering random things, allowing for the natural variation between people. Only when the task is to remember positions of non-random chess pieces, authentic plays that may actually happen in a chess game, do grandmasters perform better to reproduce them from their memory. In 1946, Adrien de Groot was the first one to demonstrate this difference between grandmasters and lesser skilled chess players on reproducing authentic chess positions. His work was translated from Dutch to English in 1965. He found that after a brief exposure to authentic chess positions, grandmasters could reproduce the positions with almost perfect accuracy. The performance of lesser skilled players, even though these were not novices, was far inferior, demonstrating that It takes an exceedingly high level of expertise to be able to see chess positions and reproduce them almost perfectly. The point was that it is not an overall better memory that helps the grandmasters. It is what they see in those non-random authentic positions. It is their vast experience and expertise that allows them to see patterns of play that they recognize at once as a whole, to once as a whole. Instead of remembering individuals, pieces, their knowledge of game allows them to see these deep structures, which a novice like you and me would not be able to do. Following the seminal work of De Groot in 1968, his student Rekent W. Jongman replicated De Groot's findings to show that even after a brief 5-second look and authentic chess play positions, the performance of grandmasters was far superior. And in a twist, Jogman and his colleague B. Lemons also compared grandmasters with lesser skilled players on reproducing random chess board positions. Although the study was not published, the result was striking. The superiority of grandmasters that was seen on authentic positions disappeared on random positions. Random positions, after all, do not have any deep structure to them, making grandmasters appear no different than lesser skilled players on reproducing random positions. In 1973, William G. Chase and Herbert Simon reproduced De Groot and Jogman's results by comparing chess masters and novices to find the same overall pattern of effects. Given the same perceptual stimuli, experts see different things than novices when the stimuli is authentic. So this is the kind of research you have to do, and not so much when it is random. Experts tend to use their prior knowledge to notice and see deep structure, whereas novices rely on surface features. In absence of deep structure, as in the random positions, the difference between experts and novices tend to significantly reduce or vanish. Read this book slowly and you will figure out how to do an assignment. This is true not just in chess, but in other domains as well. Chess is well-defined, well-structured domain. How about something less structured, more subjective like poetry, where structure is even harder to decipher? You may have come across the excerpt shown in figure 1.3 from Robert Frost's famous poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. If you are a novice reader of poetry like me, encountering this excerpt without prior knowledge of Robert Frost or his poetic style, you might interpret it more literally. For example, you might see the contemplation of the woods as a simple appreciation of nature's beauty. The repetition of the line "and miles to go before I sleep" might be understood as a statement of physical distance or a reference to a long journey ahead. Without the contextual understanding of Frost's thematic depth or his use of symbolism, a novice reader may not grasp the deeper layer within the poem. This is why we have Thoughtful Thursdays. However, for an expert in poetry, thank you, Brinda, for being one, their prior knowledge of Robert Frost's style, historical context, thematic tendencies, and recurring motifs will play a significant role in the interpretation of a poem. They would approach this excerpt knowing Frost's use of nature, contemplation, and the juxtaposition of external landscapes with internal musings to recognize the metaphoric quality of the woods, possibly interpreting them as a symbol of solitude, introspection, or even the journey of life itself. The repetition of the line "and miles to go before I sleep" could be seen as an emphasis on responsibilities, obligations, or the ongoing challenges one faces. These deeper layers of meaning or deep structure will likely be inaccessible to the novice. This is the reference, this is the figure. Be it chess or poetry, experts tend to see different things from novices because they can use their prior knowledge to see the deeper layers and make deeper meaning. Not only that, prior knowledge affects their very encoding of what they observe. It provides a different lens. Think back to the expert watching the movie with you. Experts not only see different things, but also see things differently. That's what a teacher is supposed to be. This is exactly what happens if instead of playing chess or reading poetry, you're watching a football match alongside an expert coach or player. A novice is more likely to follow the ball, whereas the professional coach or player is more likely to also see what is happening off the ball, how the team is creating space and configuring as a group. The strategy is being deployed to exploit the weaknesses of the opponents and so on. Same match, same perceptual stimulus, but experts see critical features and structures, novices less likely so. I am sure when we are doing all this, it's becoming clear to you what is a comment, what is a reflection, what is an assignment, what is a study, what is an observation, and how you will go create absorbing all this into some authentic document, not put together by chat gpt but by your research, by your reference, by your thought, by application, by data, and by testing. The pattern extends to mathematics or science or art as well. Whether you are looking at an elegant math proof alongside a mathematician, or the questions of motions alongside a physicist, or examining a painting alongside an artist, and so on. Novices tend to see superficial features, but experts see what is essential, the deep structure and critical features. Brinda, I'm sure today you will appreciate why both of us put hands together for Thursday.
Absolutely. I think there are some very significant lines which whoever's reading the book has to look at, because as you very rightly underlined one of those statements there, and I think it's important for teachers as you read along to make a note and think deeply and reflect upon these statements, because that is what will make further understanding of the book possible. Because as we go along the chapters, it's going to become a little complicated. It's not going to be as easy reading as it is in the beginning.
Brinda, if you ask me, this one book can be used as a teacher upgradation, skill development, professional development book for a teacher.
Absolutely right.
Brilliant book.
It is. It is. And
It's my third rendering now,
right.
and I feel I've never read it.
Absolutely right. And this is I'm reading this book along with my teachers, as I've told you already. So every time I've read the book for myself, I've made notes for myself, but every time you discover something in it which needs a lot of deliberation. So every statement can become a class in itself. So it's not like you just read through it or skim through it. You've got to go deep into it. You've got to reflect on the statements made, and understand what is the point that he's getting at.
I will give them an example.
Yeah.
You have an expert, you have a novice, you just saw they were both watching a match. Now take that as a hypothesis and develop your research on it. In your school, one fine day, see a match and see who's watching it like that. Count the number of people watching. Count the number of people playing. Count the number of moves the people playing make. And that's how you start building up something interesting. And you will come up with something new. How much time you captured that, how many matches you saw, all that. And you will see a match from a coach's perspective. You will see a match from a spectator's perspective. You will see a match from a simple hitting the ball perspective. That's the depth a teacher has to have. That's the power of observation of a teacher. So we carry on reading. Seeing depends on what we know. We use our knowledge to see things. The exercise is not merely perceptual, it is also a cognitive one. And it is seeing the deep structure that leads to understanding the powerful learning. That's what we are seeing now.
I think, Sandeep, if I may, I think we
Sure.
need to look at these two words. We need to look at, it's not merely perceptual, it is also a cognitive one. This exercise of seeing, these are phrases and words which I think are very important for teachers to understand. Because what is something which is just perceptual and what is a cognitive understanding? When you're seeing something and perceiving it, it's a different experience. But when you're seeing it and understanding it cognitively, then it's a totally different thing. So, this example that you gave of football again, uh, somebody who knows the technicalities of the game is going to understand it in a very different way, and he will comment on the way the ball was kicked. He would probably go into saying that, if he had chosen a different angle or if the force was different, etc., etc. But somebody who's just sitting and watching a match for the fun of it, or like me, because the TV is occupied and I have nothing better to do but sit and watch a match along with people who understand the match. So then my viewing of the match is something that I'm just trying to make out. It's not cognitive at all because I don't understand too much of what is happening. So this is something that all of us need to understand, because there would be children in the class while we are teaching who understand certain things just on the surface, while we need them to go much beyond the surface. But how do we ensure that, and does it really happen all the time with all the children in our class? That's why I wanted to pause over here, because as teachers,
Thank
we
you.
need to reflect on these things.
Well, Brinda, I think this is what the entire productive failure exercise is about.
Right.
And now let me read on, and this will be explained itself. And it is seeing the deep structure that leads to understanding and powerful learning. In the context of learning something new, we quickly run into a paradox. If you are learning something new, you are a novice with respect to the target knowledge. Therefore, by definition, you do not have the knowledge to see what is critical. Yet, somehow, you need to be able to see the critical features to be able to develop expertise. When learning something new, novices therefore get caught in this conundrum between a rock and the hard place. That's where you are caught at the moment in our master class, between the rock and the hard place. Prior knowledge is key. It not only helps us see critical features, it also helps us connect with integrate new knowledge. But seeing and connecting are key to making meaning and developing deep understanding. To see why connecting is important, consider what happens when we learn a new language. For example, I do not know Greek. I do not know Greek or many other languages such as Mandarin, Russian, Japanese, Tamil, just to name a few. If you were to talk to me or ask me to read something in any of these languages, I would turn up a blank. These languages have an entirely different script. But if I were to try to make sense of something in French or German or Spanish, I would fare a little better. Why? Because I know English and there is some overlap between the letters and words in English and languages like French, German, and Spanish, but not with Greek and the others listed above. I could use my prior knowledge of English and leverage the overlap to connect with the French and German words to make some sense of the new language. And that gives me an entry in a way to learn a new language. Learning math, science, history, art, or any other domain is not that different. Each domain has a formal language with its own words, symbols, meanings, grammar, structure, and ways of using and thinking with it. A domain expert is akin to a native speaker of the language. Novice, however, is an altogether new language, a new way of thinking and being, an entirely a new culture. From the perspective of the student, it is not unlikely finding yourself in a foreign country where you do not speak the language and are trying to find the train station. Someone notices you are lost and starts giving you directions in their language. Seeing your puzzled look, they slow down and repeat the directions more slowly and clearly. Such as you appreciate their effort, it does not help much because you do not have prior knowledge to understand the language to begin with. A similar thing unfolds in classrooms around the world. For a student new to a topic, the concept and terms are like foreign language. Even if a teacher explains these foreign concepts slowly and clearly, the student may still find it hard to understand. The situation may not be as stark as trying to understand a completely foreign language, but it is not that different either. It is a matter of degree, not kind. That is exactly what I used to do as a teacher. As you already know, I was not successful with it. Just because the teacher is an expert, can you see the critical features and deep structure and explain it clearly? It does not mean the student, as a novice, can see it and connect with it because they simply do not have the necessary prior knowledge to see the critical features and connect with it. They are learning a new language made up of symbols, terms, and ways of thinking. The language analogy is telling because it is not uncommon for students to come up out of a lecture and say, "That was all Greek to me." Teachers and experts in general often assume that if they just explain what they know clearly and engagingly, that should work. As in my experience, but also more widely, it does not work well. Sorry about that. Teachers and experts in general often assume that if they just explain what they know clearly and engagingly, that should work. As in my experience, but also more widely, it does not work at all. In fact, it is this something researchers have known for a long time. In an influential 1988 paper, Alan Schoenfeld reported on his study of what most would intuitively consider good teaching. He observed the classrooms of good mathematics teachers, teachers who manage the class well, explain the concepts in a clear and well structured manner, engage the students, where even students themselves report to have understood the concept as explained by the teacher. By all accounts, these were well taught mathematics classes. Yet, when he probed students' understandings of the concepts, he found it to be shallow. Change a small thing or a superficial feature, and they will completely thrown off. What Alan Schoenfeld was suggesting was that the problem was not that we learn poorly from bad lectures, rather that we learn poorly from excellent ones. He titled this paper, "When Good Teaching Leads to Bad Results: The Disasters of Well-Taught Mathematics Courses." An example for you to create a paper. I wish I had read this paper before I started teaching. Do a Google search and read the paper. You'll get ideas on how to present your paper. Seeing and connecting are key, and prior knowledge holds the key to both. But the prior knowledge key is precisely the key novices do not have. And without the key, the door is understanding cannot be opened. In 1998, a decade after Alan Schoenfeld's paper, Daniel Schwartz and John Branswood wrote another equally influential paper, arguing for, as the title of the paper suggests, a time for telling. That is the first job of teaching, is not to tell, but to prepare the novice to see. And the first job of learning is not to be told, but to prepare for telling. There is a time for telling, but only after the learner has been prepared for it. How does one do that? As you know, as you may have guessed, one powerful way of preparing novices to see is through failure. And we will see that in the chapters to come. For now, it is more important to understand the problem of why we fail to understand when we are learning something new. We fail because we do not have the prior knowledge key. And the very key, we need to see the critical features in the connect with the new language. That's your bookmark. Take a screenshot. Let me just file this so that the team knows where we are. Yeah, that's the bookmark. What I'm doing, I'm trying to transfer the bookmark. We have two groups. One says Saturday Masterclass and one is exclusive Sunbeam. So, the general stuff like a bookmark and all these things, I like putting in the Saturday Masterclass. I want to limit the Sunbeam Masterclass to Sunbeam's requirements. So I suggest some of you from the Saturday Masterclass, which is about 200 of us, go there and pick up learning from there. Swati, I've just added you. You had sent a request. You've been added to the Saturday Masterclass. So the bookmark is there in Saturday Masterclass. The bookmark will help Gurdeep, who is now there in both the groups. She will share with you what has to be done. Okay? So she will now post the details in your session in both the groups. Gurdeep, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I put the bookmark here. I've already recorded this. That's all the reading there is for today. I am going to stop sharing this and I'm going to ask people before we close, if you have a question, please ask. I am here for a minute or two. Please come by, ask a question. If you have any question, I'm happy to answer. I know today we've done a lot of work to explain. And yes, we have tried to entice you to push the pedal. And why we did this in May, because we are sure in May and June you will have time. 5:30 p.m. in the evening, if you can watch Netflix every day at 5:30 p.m. or if you can go for any show, it may be worth your while to attend some more 5:30 p.m. sessions. Isn't that right, Brenda? And these are live sessions. They are not recorded or designed or scripted at all. All our sessions, three of them, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, are absolutely different. You can easily say focus is reading, reflection, relationship, but that's just the superficial. That's what the novice thinks. Now, when you have experts, you realize how deep every session is. This week, I've had Manisha attend all three. Manisha, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, give me one difference in all three.
So
What makes yeah.
all the three are very thoughtfully planned. As like, for example, map session is designed as per music, art, and poetry. There we discuss and understand. Last week it was symbolism. So on that proper topic, all the three of it was designed and the thoughts were shared. And Friday, it is all about school, and we feel it very near to our heart because whatever comes, we see it as an object. School should not be taken as a building, but it should be taken as a real human. So, if instead of a school building, a real human is there, so how we should be acting, what should we saying?
Likewise, today is for our professional grooming. So how should we groomed, how we are supposed to take care of our knowledge, education, and move forward in our classroom. So this is about today's session.
Well done. So, in one word, if I was to look at Thursday, I would say it is power of observation. If in one phrase I was to put off Friday, power of understanding. And if in one phrase I was to put it for Saturday, can anyone guess? Power of observation, power of understanding, power of application. So these three powers, observation, understanding, and application, will make you the happy teacher. And that's how this whole story is designed about this year's professional learning. I am willing to stand on top of a roof and say this is perhaps now why you're understanding why our methodology was identified by World Bank in 2019 as one of the 10 innovations that could change the way teachers learn. Brinda, over to you. Gurdeep, would you like to close?
Yes, sir. So I would say, like these master class is like a lab where we are learning different theories, and we can take back these theories to our classes where we can experiment. And this is basically research. So much to learn, so much to experiment. As you rightly said, like this is the power of application.
Your alarm's going, so you better run. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We always tell you mark 5:30 to 6:30, but we never take the hour. But today, I think it was important. If you ask me, this session will be a game changer. Let us see what the video output is, which you'll see in a little while. We'll try and put as much of our today's content in the video so that you can try and use that. Now, the next part. Why are we putting this on YouTube? We want you, not that you missed it, to capture it again. If you've been here, to play and replay, and that will be how you will overcome productive failure. So that's the whole strategy. And to make sure that the video reaches you, we email it into your inbox every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. So that when you come here by Saturday, you will find the video has been with you. In case you have missed a point, you will find it in that. All the screenshot, all the color markers are all visible in the video. So if you have forgotten how to take screenshots in the session, you have missed nothing. From the video, you can do everything what you think you should have done. And that's why we create the video. Do we have the poll? Do you think you can run it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here's the poll. Launched. Use the poll to mark. I will end it in precisely 60 seconds. Surprise, that's why I left it right till the end. So this is the poll, Brinda. Manisha?
Yes, as mentioned, host and panelists cannot vote. So I was trying, then I saw the little pop-up.
Well, people are voting.
So they are the attendees. So host and
26.
panelists.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's okay. So we are only concerned about attendees.
Yes, sir.
The poll has run for a minute. %63% have voted.
Great.
Okay, I shall end the poll. Can you see it on your screen?
Yes, 31 on 31 voted.
31.
Yeah, so this is where we are. Now we need to figure out how we can use the poll data. Okay, so we will see how we can do that. It is just a way of learning something new, and I think I learned how to do this today. So I just did this experiment to show that when you do an experiment, you write about it, you create data, you create research, and now let us use this data. Okay, so this is a little poll we took. So let's take this data, put it down inside the Saturday masterclass. Let us say we hypothesize that so many people will survive till the end of the class. So which means we should have data at the beginning, data at the end, and then compare how many people survived the class and then make the hypothesis come alive. So that's exactly what I'm getting at. This is the kind of work you have to do. This was not an exercise to mark your attendance. This was an exercise to see how you can design a way of learning. So I know it may be a failure for some of us. I may be a learning for some of us. Well, that's productive failure. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. Have a great week till we meet again, maybe next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Bless you all. जय हिंद. आज हम जय हिंद बोल गए एंड में, भूल गए. Thank you.